My name is Steven Langa, and I'm the Executive Director of Family Life Network, an organization that is working to bring restoration to family values and morals in our society. We have been around since 2002, and we run programs that help children from 10 years all the way to adults. For adults, we have a parenting course that we run. We have programs on marriage. For mature youth, we have programs on courtship and how you can get married properly. For university and schools, we have a program called BANG, Becoming a New Generation with Values, Morals, and Character. And so for us, family is our business. Family is our interest. And so anything that touches family, anything that touches morality, directly touches our docket. And so we are here today, this morning, to make a very important statement. As parents and families of Uganda who are custodians of our children, we today make a united stand and we make our voices heard on the issue of homosexuality. This matter has been going on for a while, and many voices have been heard about it, but the voice of parents and families of Uganda have been absent. But because of recent developments, especially by the World Bank, we have been prompted to now come forward and make our voice and stand known publicly. It will be recalled that in 2009, there was a national uproar when for the first time the public was shocked to find out that our children were being recruited into homosexuality. The situation led to a petition to be taken into Parliament by parents, led by Family Life Network and our religious leaders, and that petition is what led to the enactment of the first anti-homosexuality bill, because Parliament was tasked to secure our children. Unfortunately, that bill was struck down on a technicality. Now, since that time, the pro-gay machinery, in collaboration with their Ugandan counterparts, have embarked on a systematic, well-coordinated, well-funded, and well-organized, and well-executed recruitment drive on our children. This is confirmed by the statement made by the Deputy Speaker, the Right Honorable Thomas Tayeba, in his speech in the Parliament on 24th of January this year, when he said, "The Committee on Education and Sports was given the assignment to inquire into the issues of homosexuality in schools. Honorable colleagues, I'm getting painful and gruesome stories. When you talk to the doctors, you understand how deep it is. Many people are dying in silence, but it seems our schools have been completely penetrated. It also seems like recruitment centers are very open. It is extremely painful. We are completely not in charge of our children. I personally talked to one student, and he told me that in one of their schools, you cannot move around the compound at night. He is from a boys' school, and it is one of the prominent boys' schools. He told me he's afraid of being grabbed and sodomized. Some of your children are suffering in silence, and some of the parents are also suffering in silence. Therefore, Committee on Education and Sports. This is a matter you have to give urgent priority. It is an issue which we must tackle head-on, without fear anyone, because it is all we have. The moment you finish our children, then we no longer have anything. So friends, these are very, very serious words. And therefore, as parents, we take this matter with the seriousness and the priority it deserves. The issue of homosexuality is destroying our children. And we as parents cannot sit back while this is happening. And that's why we are coming out today, to do something about it. The scope and scale of the clandestine molestation and recruitment of our children into homosexuality is self-evident. As parents, therefore, we first wish to acknowledge our religious leaders who strongly condemn the harmful, destructive, and vice of homosexuality. We also acknowledge in a special way Honorable Asuman Basario for tabling the bill, the private members' bill that brought about the anti-homosexuality law. We also like to thank in a special way the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament and the Deputy Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Tayebwa. We also would like to thank members of Parliament for bravely and unanimously passing the anti-homosexuality bill. Further to that, we'd like to thank also in a very special way His Excellency the President for assenting to the bill. And we thank the President for continually maintaining that stand without wavering. We applaud that and we acknowledge that. As parents, we have noted with great concern the continuous pressure and threats by the international community demanding that the anti-homosexual bill be dropped. We have noted with disappointment the recent threats and intimidation by the World Bank, trying to use loans to arm twist Uganda to sell the priceless birthright of our cherished family, morals, cultural, and religious values. We have been disappointed that Ugandan-based pro-gay activists with support and backing from their international counterparts have launched a constitutional petition to try and strike down this popularly passed bill. We view all these actions by the pro-gay Ugandan activists and their local and international funders as direct attack on our children, our families, as well as our cherished morals, cultural, and religious values, as well as our sovereignty. This is tantamount to cultural and sexual colonization. Since as parents, we have the God-given responsibility to protect our children from harmful vices like homosexuality and to raise them with values, morals, and character that will enable them to succeed in life, we take this attack with the seriousness it deserves. We know that this vice has the potential to rob our children of their identity and their destiny and destroy their lives. We know therefore, have no alternative but to make an appropriate parental response to this very serious threat regarding the welfare and future of our children and our nation. Therefore, we have this resolved as follows as parents. We have resolved that we commit ourselves as parents to take our God-given responsibility to protect our children and to parent them so that they can grow as responsible citizens. Secondly, as parents and our children together, united, we send a clear message to the pro-gay activists and their machinery in Uganda and outside of Uganda and the international community that together with our children and concerned Ugandans, we have rejected homosexuality as a nation. And no amount of threats, intimidation will make us change our position on this important matter. To this end, therefore, homosexuality must remain a crime in Uganda, and we demand that our family, cultural and religious values and our aspirations, as well as our sovereignty as a nation, must be respected by other nations and the international community. To the World Bank and other international development partners and members of the international community, we categorically say we will not sell our cherished families, our moral, cultural, and religious values for financial aid. Uganda will not live or develop by aid alone. Thirdly, we now call on all parents countrywide to take their parental and social responsibility and acknowledge that sexual and cultural war has been declared on our children and our nation. Therefore, now that the Anti-Homosexuality Act 2023 is in place, we call on all parents countrywide to use all available lawful means to protect, preserve, and defend our children from being molested, defiled, and recruited into the destructive, harmful vice of homosexuality and lesbianism. Fourthly, we encourage our leaders to stand firm. As parents, we applaud His Excellency, the President, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Asman Basalira, and the Honorable Members of Parliament for the bold and heroic move you made to unanimously pass and assent to this Anti-Homosexuality Act 2023. We encourage you to remain firm and steadfast in the growing level of intimidation and threats you are being subjected to. We assure you of our backing, our prayers, and we assure you that on this matter of protecting our children and nation from homosexuality, our full support will remain firm until victory over this vice is secured. Fifthly, we encourage our countrymen and countrywomen. As parents, we say to our fellow countrymen and women that liberty and freedom and standing for the truth always comes at a price. It does not come cheaply or easy. As individuals, as families, as leaders at all levels, and as a nation, let us be prepared to tighten our belts and pay the price for our sovereignty, liberty, families, as well as our cultural and religious values which we cherish. It is better to suffer temporarily but retain our priceless birthrights in the form of our families, cultural and religious values, rather than succumb to the temptation to sell our birthright for money, which we will make in plenty, as long as we remain faithful to our values morals, and character. This is therefore the time for us to mature as a nation and begin to take responsibility for the destiny of our nation and chart out our own future as we trust God to lead us through the uncharted territory and follow our national motto, for God and mankind. Sixthly, we speak hope to our children and youth. As parents, we assure our children and the youth that we take responsibility for our shortcomings and neglect that have left you exposed to all sorts of vices. However, we make a commitment to take back our parental care and responsibility and to provide the guidance and protection you need. For some of you who have been lured or recruited into homosexuality and lesbianism, or who are struggling with your identity, we are sorry about what you have been through. We nevertheless have hope and good news for you that change is possible. You can be reformed or delivered from this vice of homosexuality. We make a commitment to work with you, mentor you, counsel you, support you to become a new generation of youth with values, morals, and character. We trust you, believe in you, and know that as we cheer you on from behind, you will overcome all the vices that are being thrown at you, including homosexuality. Our desire for you is that you will learn from our mistakes so that you don't repeat the same mistakes we made. We know that with our encouragement, you will do better than us, and you will have stable, happy, and fulfilling marriages and families. Ultimately, we are confident that you will have what it takes to make Uganda a great nation and Africa a great continent. Finally, number 7, we call parents, governments, and organizations everywhere in Africa and beyond who cherish family, moral, cultural, and religious values to rise up and take a stand against this evil, destructive vice of homosexuality, disguised as human rights. Throughout history, homosexuality has been a major contributor to the destruction of entire civilizations. It is a national security matter which must be resisted and defeated if our families, morals, cultural and religious values, freedom of speech, and the rule of law and our sovereignty are to be respected, protected, and preserved. There is no record of a country where homosexuality has successfully coexisted with strong families and sound public morality. It doesn't exist anywhere. Since family is the basic building block of society anywhere, anything that threatens, weakens, or destroys this important and unreplaceable institution must be resisted, fought, and defeated. We want to, therefore, launch today a nationwide effort to mobilize and sensitize parents all over the nation. And we are going to encourage them to make their voices clearly heard in Uganda on this matter, as well as internationally. We will leave no stone unturned until we firmly secure our children and society from the present onslaught of homosexuality that has attacked our nation. Parents, as we conclude, we stand united with our children, and we announce the launch of our pushback and the total rejection of homosexuality in Uganda during this press conference. For God and my country.